We have reached a level of discourse in many areas of this country that really deserves to be, I don't know, flushed down the toilet 10 to 15 times. And I'm going to illustrate this to you through a couple of the videos that the failed former President Donald Trump posted to Truth Social yesterday. We already went over in an earlier segment this explosion of posts, 41 posts in 2 hours and over 50 posts in 24 hours to Truth Social that Donald Trump did. I want to look specifically at a couple of videos in which, we really need to work very hard not to get desensitized to the absolutely absurd reality that this is a former president of the United States, is the presumptive Republican presidential nominee for 2024. And if we don't vote, could be president once again. Here is Donald Trump dropping the globalist slur, which, remember, in many circles, globalist is just an anti-Semitic code word for Jews. Trump jumping on the globalist slur bandwagon and also saying that the prosecutor in Trump's civil trial in New York is racist. She's black. Trump says she's racist. Of course, you could be black and racist. That's not a problem, but there's no evidence of that. So let's go through it. Here is Donald Trump making this claim about the World Health Organization and globalism, and his audience is eating this stuff right up. Take a look at this.
The World Health Organization has become nothing more than a corrupt globalist scam paid for by the United States, but owned and controlled by China. When the China virus reached our shores 3 years ago, the World Health Organization disgracefully covered the tracks of the Chinese Communist Party every single step of the way. For this reason, it was my great honor to terminate America's relationship with the World Health Organization.
Remember that we're back in thanks to Biden.
The United States was paying the World Health Organization almost $500 million a year. When I dropped out, I took it out of there. And for 330 million people, even though China was paying only $40 million for 1.4 billion people. So we had 330, they have 1.4, and we're paying...
You following the math here?
More than 10 times the amount. That's typical for the United States because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Unfortunately, crooked Joe Biden foolishly re-entered the World Health Organization at the full price and without any negotiations or reforms.
All right. So the point here is globalist has now become a slur.
Globalist, internationalist, Trotskyite, socialist.
All right. Yeah, that's my Alex Jones impression. Do I think Trump is literally talking about Jews when he says globalist? No, I do not. No, I do not. And in this context, he seems more to be talking about China actually than anything else. But this is a level of discourse that in times past would have been unthinkable for an American president. As silly as so many of the things that George W. Bush said were, even George W. Bush was above this sort of thing. And going to the globalist slur shows only further the further depths, a descent into the further depths of where the discourse has fallen. Now, Trump didn't stop there. He also says that Letitia James, who he often refers to as peekaboo, which seems to be just a racist an analog to jigaboo. Trump says she's racist.
By any other judge in New York, the trial brought by the corrupt and racist AG, Peekaboo James, would be dismissed and over with.
Now, when Trump says she's racist, I really don't know what Trump's talking about. I know that she's black. I've not seen it even suggested that she's going after Trump because Trump is white. In fact, Trump has said she's going after him for political reasons, not for racial reasons. So I would love more information about the way in which her racism is apparent.
This case should never have been brought. It should never have been allowed. I have no rights. I don't even get, under any circumstances, a jury. Somebody said, oh, your lawyers didn't check a box. There's no box to check. Under this statute, you get no jury, you get no rights. Peekaboo has misrepresented values to the judge, like Mar-a-Lago being worth only $18 million now.
Now, remember, 18 million is the assessed value. And when Trump says she's racist, when he says peekaboo, I think he's being racist.
Just so you understand, if you multiply that times 50 to 100, that would be much closer to the value. They know it's wrong. Either that or they're grossly incompetent, which could also be because they are incompetent. I'm worth much more than my financial statements,
Sure.
so there can be no fraud.
All right. So maybe Trump means it's racist to say that he doesn't have as much money as he claims to have. I don't really know. But this is where the level of discourse now is. The people who tell us it's wrong to ever say someone is racist, it's the worst thing you could ever say, are saying that Letitia James is racist with no evidence. And the only thing we can find is that she's black and Trump as the defendant is white. Does that mean anytime there is cross-racial prosecution that it's racially motivated or racist? I think I'm trying to apply logic to a situation that has no logic. Trump's audience is eating this stuff up. They vote. They are motivated to vote based on these sorts of statements, which is another reminder of why we need to make sure that we are voting. Let's now look at a Republican, not a guy I love, not a guy who I think is the best, but a guy who seems like sort of a decent person who is saying this stuff's got to stop. Have you seen these people search sites? It's a big data privacy problem in the United States. They publish personal profiles on millions of Americans for people to see. It's crazy. They can show your address, your internet activity, license plate can be there, even your political and religious beliefs. People buy and sell this information about you. And sometimes it's even shown online for free without you being aware. Our sponsor, Incog, is a powerful platform that will simplify this whole process for you. You create an account on Incog. Within a minute, they go to work getting your data taken down from these data broker databases. They'll keep you updated every step of the way. They'll handle disputes or websites that try to refuse to take your info down. It can cut down on robocalls. It can make you less susceptible to scams. Even identity theft is a risk that they can help mitigate. Folks, you do not want this type of personal information floating around out there. Let Incog take care of it for you. The first 100 people to use the promo code PACMAN get 60% off when you go to incogni.com/PACMAN. The link is down below.